Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the first chapter, International Economic Organizations. In the last class we have seen the international economics. In that we have seen the classical theory of international trade, foreign exchange, rate of exchange, balance of payments. So, a country is facing with the problem of disequilibrium in the balance of payments. How it can be corrected with the help of international economic organizations. So today we are going to see the international economic organizations. See, there's a quotation given by Rudy Dorbush. Foreign capital infinitely prefers situation where the upside potential is vast if risk must be taken to get in. So, we have to invite the foreign capital. We have seen foreign direct investments, FDI. So, we are in need of the foreign assistance, either in the form of foreign aid or foreign loans. So, we have to invite the foreign capital. That means we have to allow them to make investments. So, if we prefer this situation where the upside potential is vast, we can easily develop our economy or any economy if risk must be taken to get in. So, there must be risk also. So, you have to face the risk. So, first we will see what are the international financial institutions or international institutions which help all over the countries, all the countries of the world. So, this idea was given by, or this idea was developed by the Bretton Woods Conference proposed. They have to form an international financial institutions. They are IMF, World Bank and International Trade Organizations in 1944. So, after the Second World War, all the countries are facing with the problem of the financial crisis as well as the trade crisis. So, to solve the problem, they have to form international financial institutions. So, they have held a meeting under the Bretton Woods Conference. So, they proposed to form the IMF and World Bank and International Trade Organization. So, IMF and World Bank were started in 1945. Instead of ITO, that is International Trade Organization, an arrangement was made and named GATT. GATT means General Agreement on Tariff and Trade. So, the GATT was transformed into World Trade Organization, WTO, from 1995 onwards. So, the IMF, IBRD and WTO, the headquarters are presented in the form of a table. You can easily understand. So, International Monetary Fund, that is IMF, the headquarters is in Washington DC, that is in USA. And the year of establishment was 1945. And the World Bank is otherwise known as IBRD, this International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This was also having the headquarters in Washington DC only. The same year only, the World Bank was also established in the year of 1945. Then, after the GATT agreement, it was renamed as World Trade Organization, and the headquarters is Geneva in the year 1995. So, we will see one by one the international financial institutions. That is, first one is International Monetary Fund. So, here the main aim of the IMF was to secure and promote economic and financial cooperation among member countries. So, the IMF was established to assist the member nations to tide over the balance of payments disequilibrium in the short run. So mainly the IMF was established to overcome the problem of disequilibrium in the balance of payments faced by the all the countries. So at present the IMF has 189 member countries, with the Republic of Nauru joined in 2016. So India is a member country from the inception of IMF, that is from 1945 onwards we have the member of IMF. So here the Nauru, here it refers to the Republic of Nauru, a tiny South Pacific island nation in Pacific Ocean, became the 189th member of the IMF and World Bank, that is IBRD. And what are the objectives of IMF? We'll see one by one. First one is to promote international monetary cooperation among the member countries. That is, cooperation means they must have no competition or no misunderstanding. They must cooperate with the trade as a partner. Trade relationship should be smooth. ஒரு நல்ல வாணிப தொடர்பு இருக்கணும் எல்லா நாடுகள்கிட்டையும். அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் the monetary cooperation, because we are fixing the rate of exchange. So they must have a clear understanding and cooperation between the two countries. So this is the main aim of IMF. And the second objective is to facilitate faster and balanced growth of international trade. So to facilitate means to speed up, to promote the balanced growth of international trade. So all the countries must be able to promote their exports, as well as they are in a position to import commodities from abroad. So this is the second aim of the IMF. And third one is to ensure exchange rate stability by curbing competitive exchange depreciations. What is meant by exchange rate stability? We have seen in the last class. That is, we have to maintain the rate of exchange. $1 is equal to, we have seen, 75 rupees or 70 rupees. So this rate of exchange should be maintained stable. Otherwise, if there is a flexibility in the rate of exchange, means the country is facing with the problem of balance of payments disequilibrium. So maximum we have to ensure the exchange rate stability by curbing competitive exchange depreciations. Exchange depreciation means the value of the currency may be reduced in terms of other countries' currency. I have already explained you, that is, there are two concepts, devaluation and overvaluation. Devaluation means we are reducing the value of our currency in terms of foreign currencies. Instead of rupees 70, we have to pay 100 rupees for getting $1 worth of US commodities. That means the price of the Indian commodities is becoming costlier. That means the value of the currency is decreased. So this is called as devaluation. This measure was undertaken to promote export as well as reduce imports. That is, so this is competitive exchange depreciation. To avoid this, to reduce this, we have to maintain exchange rate stability. Then fourth objective is to eliminate or reduce exchange controls imposed by member nations. We have seen that is exchange control means import quotas, export quotas. They may fix import duty, export duty. They may produce commodities, that is import substitute commodities. To avoid the or reduce the exchange controls imposed by member countries, we have to get the help from IMF. So the objective of IMF is to eliminate or reduce the exchange controls imposed by member nations. And fifth one is to establish multilateral trade and payment system in respect of current transactions instead of bilateral trade agreements. Bilateral trade agreements means within two countries. Multilateral trade means among more than two countries. So we can have trade relationship with more countries. India is having nearly 132, we are trading with 132 countries. So that much of a relationship we are having. Then sixth objective is to promote the flow of capital from developed to developing nations. So only the developing nations are in need of more capital from abroad. So we can allow the foreigners to make investment in the developing nations and underdeveloped countries because they need more capital for development activities. Then last objective is to solve the problem of international liquidity. So we have to analyze what is meant by international liquidity. That is, the availability of foreign currency will be zero. Suppose you take India. India is facing with the problem of balance of payments disequilibrium. That is unfavorable balance of payments disequilibrium. We are importing and importing. There is no increase in simultaneous increase in exports. So we are not able to have sufficient foreign exchange resources. நம்ம import பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தோம்னு சொன்னா நம்மள்ட்ட இருக்கிற foreign exchange resources எல்லாமே reserves எல்லாமே நம்ம வெளிநாடுகளுக்கு பே பண்ணிட்டே இருக்க வேண்டியிருக்கும். But there is nil balance in the foreign exchange reserve. So to avoid this international liquidity, we can get help from IMF to solve the balance of payments disequilibrium, that is unfavorable position. For that we are having a special scheme called as SDR, that is special drawing rights. So to solve the problem of international liquidity, we can avail help from the IMF. IMF தந்து நம்ம உதவியே நாடலாம். எந்த ஸ்கீம் மூலமா அப்படின்னு சொன்னா special drawing rights. We can get more financial assistance. We can get help, financial help in the form of getting more gold or more dollar or more euro dollar to make payments for importation. So these are the objectives of IMF. We will summarize. There are 7 objectives. First one is to promote international monetary cooperation among member countries, to facilitate faster and balanced growth of international trade. And third one is to ensure exchange rate stability by curbing competitive exchange depreciation, and also to reduce exchange controls imposed by member nations. Last one is to promote the flow of capital from developed to developing nations. Then to solve the problem of international liquidity. Next we will see the functions of IMF in the next class.